Let me jump because I was going to come to it at the end, but it's a question relevant to what you just said about young people. A question from Ben. It's safe to say the SDLP has recently placed an emphasis on their younger representatives. Cara Hunter, Matthew O'Toole, Claire Hanna have had the spotlight more than the likes of, well, this person picks out Dolores Kelly, Pat Catney. So my question is, says Ben, how do you combat the brain drain of young professionals in Northern Ireland who are more likely to move to London or out of Northern Ireland than stay and engage with their home communities?
Well, this is something that has driven me for a long time. I know it in Derry more than most because I think the brain drain is more pronounced here, largely because we don't have a full-size university, and we have been sending young people away. And Northern Ireland, as a whole, sends I don't know what this year's figure was, but it's in the thousands of students away, and the figure is 80% of them end up living within 20 miles of the place that they go to university. So we end up losing many of our best and brightest to our economy, to our society, to our families and our communities. And I think that's a real tragedy. And it's one of the things we have a policy in Northern Ireland, an economic policy called the Mazen Cap, which is the most bizarre policy that any government could pursue. Basically puts a cap on the number of students we have. We don't have enough students coming to Northern Ireland or staying in Northern Ireland. That has a massive impact. And if you speak to investors, the most important thing that they look at, never mind tax, even beyond infrastructure and all of that, is skills. And if we are sending all those people away and they're not coming back, it is having a huge impact on our economy, particularly in areas like Derry that doesn't have that critical mass of student population.
It's the purpose of the cap, no, Colum, that it means that the taxpayer doesn't have a blank check for underwriting certain amounts of tuition fees.
Yeah, but the taxpayer is suffering because we don't have enough income coming into the system, because we don't have the economy that we need. If it's well recognised that alongside infrastructure and a few other things, that skills is the most important thing in attracting investment and allowing Indigenous companies to grow and all of that, then surely what we need is more people, people in jobs, not on the dole, and all of those things, which benefits the taxpayer because they don't have to pay for all of that. So I think it's a fundamental problem that we have in our economy, and has never been addressed by any government here, and I find it astonishing, to be honest.
So would it be fair to say, just to conclude, that the major policy for you on that one is universities? That's where the problem begins.
I mean, skills are much more than universities, but
yeah,
it is absolutely key that we develop and increase our university capacity. You know what I'll say about that. You start in the place that needs it most, which is the place that's been starved of it since 1964-65, and that's Derry. But we have a very strange system here around how we train people, but I think that is a fundamental weakness in our economy.